2024 set the bar extremely high for quality fights being made, but I do think it set 2025 up to top it. I'm gonna get the obvious one out of the way right now, since it's been talked about to death for the last few years already. If Canelo doesn't fight David Benavidez this year, I think it's safe to say that we'll never see it. There are very few other fights that make any sense for Canelo at this point. He could try to secure a fight in with Bivol, but aside from that fight losing the interest of the fans, Bivol seems like he has very much moved past that fight. Canelo could also fight William Skull to regain the IBF belt and once again become undisputed at 168, but regaining that status against an opponent with a resume that is far from stellar would be a little bit disappointing. There is of course the possibility of Terence Crawford, but not only would it be a big push for Crawford to make 160 pounds, but Canelo would have far too much to lose and has seemed rather uninterested in the fight in general. The next fight is one we've spoken about a little bit on this channel, so I won't go into a lot of detail about it, but it has the potential to be fight of the year if everything goes as planned. Zurdo Ramirez and Jai Opetaya have only Noel Mikhailian standing in the way of an undisputed mega fight. Jai currently has one of the belts and has been inactive only slightly longer than Zurdo, which means if Jai were to fight Mikhailian early in the year and come out victorious, it would put Zurdo and himself on 2 belts each, setting up a massive bout for late 2025. The third big one we're hoping for is for Terence Crawford. As we said, the Canelo fight looks highly unlikely for 2025, but I think a fight with Boots Ennis is one that would be a far bigger treat for the boxing world. The biggest hurdle in the way of this is that Boots has said that he wants to unify the belts at 147 before moving up a weight, while Crawford seems very happy with his body and the competition at 154. With an entire year ahead of us though, I do feel like the chances are kinda high that one of the two of them will change their mind and make this happen. It will most likely have to be Boots, as Crawford has great options for the year with Virgil Ortiz, Sebastian Fundora, and Bakram Murtazaliev in his weight class. Another fight we've spoken about on this channel was one that we thought was on the cusp of happening, and it may still be. 25-year-old sensation Hamza Shiraz was rumored to be close to making a huge fight happen with the Kazakh phenom Janibek Alemkhaneli, who holds half the belts in the division. Hamza has however announced his next opponent to be the WBC champion Carlos Adames. This is still a massive step up in the quality of opposition for him, and if he does win in February, a fight with Janibek could still be on the cards. This would be exponentially bigger if Alemkhaneli could somehow lock in a fight and a victory against the dangerous veteran Erislandy Lara, who currently holds the WBA belt. The final big fight on my wishlist for 2025 will see the return of Devin Haney against Teofimo Lopez, whose resume since fighting Lomachenko in 2020 has looked a bit lackluster. Defeating Josh Taylor last year was enough to keep him quite relevant, but nowhere near the status he once was. Devin Haney's future has become murky as well, after he's had only a single fight this year and has closed himself out of the spotlight as much as possible. 2023 catapulted him to the top with back-to-back blockbuster fights, and it just took one overweight crazy Ryan Garcia to tear all that down. A slow start is definitely not what Haney needs in 2025, and the old beef him and Teo used to have may need to be reignited to put them both back on the map. This should be one of the easiest fights to make that's on this list, and one of the most exciting fights in boxing. Let me know in the comments which of these fights you'd be most excited to see, or if you think there's an even bigger fight to be made. Also, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, please do consider subscribing and leaving a like on the videos. It helps us tremendously. Until next time.